For every fitness influencer who inspires people to hit the gym and change their lives, there's another who turns inspiration into manipulation, authenticity into ego, and progress into controversy. And few names embody that shift more than Wes Watson.
Thank you for putting this man, Wes Watson, on the planet. Every time I've ever been tested, I came out on top. Every time. I have blessed the internet with the two greatest videos the internet has ever seen. Angie in a bikini, a thong, hopping out of a Bugatti.
Wes didn't quietly build his brand. He exploded onto the scene like a human siren, shirtless, veins bulging, shouting at his camera in a Bugatti about how soft you are for not waking up at 4 a.m. He sold discipline, he sold toughness, and he sold the idea that prison made him bulletproof. But somewhere along the way, what started as grit and raw energy turned into a performance, and not a good one. Wes has tried to bully his way into internet relevance. During a Fresh and Fit live event, he squared up to another guest, pacing like a caged dog, trying to intimidate.
If you look at these studies done on this, it does not
I don't fit no fucking studies.
It does not
bro.
hugely improve a person's life.
Are you proud of who the you are?
Why
Well,
don't
look
you
at,
even
are
let
you
me
proud?
get-
If you look in the mirror, would you guys say this proud of who the he is? That's a bag of trash, dude. Pull your shirt
Because
off
I've
and
been-
tell me you're proud
Because
of yourself.
I've been to prison.
Jesus Christ,
Because
look
I've been
at
to
you,
prison?
bro. You got 10-inch arms and tits. Men don't have tits.
No,
you
they
guys.
go to prison where they get fucked.
Yeah,
where
they
get
do. It's never been to prison. Look,
That's
he's
what
talking about
happened.
shit.
But it backfired. The moment felt forced, like a man trying too hard to revive his reputation through aggression.
Yeah. Anyway, back to where I was at. Yeah. Okay. Prison.
Viewers weren't impressed. They were uncomfortable. The tough guy act looked more like insecurity on full display. And then came the infamous incident with the lawn keeper. Just a guy mowing a yard near Wes's mansion. Instead of ignoring it, Wes exploded, screaming profanities, pacing back and forth while filming himself ranting about respect. This wasn't discipline. It was meltdown theater.
There's a good invention for you, mother. Shut. Watch. Here you go. Hey, hey, hey. 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 Get out of the backyard. I'm trying to do something. It's loud. It's way too loud. No. I'm doing something. No.
But it didn't stop there. In gyms, people have accused him of threatening others, getting physical, or demanding people to turn off their cameras around him. Ironic for a guy who built his platform filming everything.
Hey, am I 5'8"? Am I 5'8"? Get the out of here.
That's what I want to find out.
He flaunts his wealth, supercars, designer fits, big houses, but the message behind it all gets lost in the ego. What started as a redemption arc from ex-con to coach now looks more like a masterclass in how to destroy trust by screaming louder and listening less. In complete contrast, Eric Bugenhagen built his name on noise too, but of a very different kind. Where Wes yells to prove power, Eric screams because he's having the time of his life mid-rep. His early YouTube videos were shot in a basement that looked like it hadn't seen sunlight in years. He wore boots, jeans, and sometimes Viking costumes. He grunted, howled, and banged on weights like a man possessed. But people loved him.
Bulgarian!
Before that rap, I failed!
Eric made lifting fun again. You didn't watch him to get six-pack secrets. You watched because he reminded you that lifting is about joy, not just discipline. Despite the madness, there was wisdom. Hidden in the chaos were legit golden nuggets of advice. For years, he proudly waved the natural bodybuilding flag and gave hope to lifters who didn't want to touch PEDs.
You decide to hop off and you lose all your gains, and we're talking about strength or whatever, and now you're 100 pounds weaker than you were when you're on it. Now what does that do to your mindset?
Many have speculated that he had hopped on in recent years, but not once did he promote roids to younger viewers or continue claiming natty status. Eventually, he transitioned into the mainstream with a WWE run as Rick Boogs. complete with mustaches and power moves, but he never lost that wild charm. He did Ice Spice commercials, made ridiculous gym edits, and even now, people still go back to his old videos just to feel that raw passion again. Even if he is enhanced now, no one holds it against him. He never lied, he never pretended to be your coach or your guru. He was just Eric, the guy who screams when he lifts and loves it more than anyone else in the room. Meanwhile, Kie Muscle continues to be one of the most unpredictable figures in the game. He used to be a fan favorite, a guy with a massive frame and a bigger-than-life personality who rose from prison to YouTube success. But as time went on, things got strange. For years, Kie swore he was natural, even while carrying a physique that looked like it belonged in a Marvel movie. When he finally admitted to steroid use after nearly dying from a heart attack, fans felt duped. Not because he was enhanced, but because he'd lied about it while selling himself as proof that Natty Muscle could look like that.
I was getting big, right? 255, 260. You guys will see the documentary I did, Monster, Kie Muscle Story. I was 260 in that video, just juice to the gills. 1,000 mgs test, 800 mgs trend, you know, all that stuff that's tearing up those insides, man.
After that health scare, you'd think Kie would slow down. Instead, he started hopping between trends like a man possessed. One month it was a fruit-only diet, the next it was videos teaching people how to blow up on social media. He got into random beefs with other influencers, like Johnny Bravo and Chris Jones, often starting drama that felt more about attention than truth. There were also rumors of a crypto pump and dump tied to his name, with followers claiming they were misled into investing in a token that just disappeared as fast as Kie's natty claims. Today, his content feels like a buffet of chaos. Reactions, rants, fitness, crypto, clickbait, fasting, feuds. You never know what version of Kie you're going to get. But one thing's clear, people don't trust him anymore. And many longtime fans feel like they've outgrown him. Compare that to someone like Sulle, who's quietly become the most relatable name in bodybuilding without ever trying to be a celebrity. Sam doesn't wear flashy chains. He doesn't have a fleet of luxury cars. His most expensive item might be his gym membership. He films hour-long vlogs, often on grainy cameras, and just talks. That's it. No fake enthusiasm, no polished production, just raw gym sessions and real thoughts.
Don't tell the people around me, but I'm gonna go blow up the bathroom.
Okay. Let's make a jump set.
What makes Sam different is how normal he seems and how willing he is to show the process. He's never acted like a finished product. He's just a guy who loves lifting and shares the journey. People trust him because he doesn't sell them a dream. He doesn't pitch magic routines or expensive programs. He talks about training, eating, and recovery, like someone who still remembers what it felt like to be a beginner. And when it came time to address the elephant in the room, whether or not he's natural, he didn't lie, dodge, or manipulate. He said flat out, "I'm not natty." No drama, no pity party, just facts. And instead of backlash, he got respect. Because honesty is currency in a space filled with liars. Recently, Sam has earned even more respect by participating and winning his first bodybuilding show, proving he isn't just talk and will not settle as a mere influencer. He's a legitimate bodybuilder. Sam doesn't just lift weights, he's lifting the bar for what fitness influencers should be. Unfortunately, not everyone's keeping up. Eubank was once celebrated as a beacon of faith and fitness, a guy who fused aesthetics with spirituality. He had the look, the message, the Bible verses in his captions. For many young lifters, Alex represented what was possible naturally. But when he revealed he was starting TRT, fans felt misled.
But I've never spoken against TRT, right? I've trained almost, I think, 8 years now naturally. I was like, bro, at the moment, I was like, F it, bro. I was like, we ball. I was like, dude, we're gonna do it. So they pinned me right there, and it was great. And I'm doing that, HCG, and then I'm gonna be taking glutathione or thiamine.
It wasn't just about the testosterone, it was the brand. Alex had built his empire on being natural, sold coaching, supplements, and plans under that promise. And then, suddenly, it wasn't true anymore. To make things worse, he started hanging around figures like Togi, a known gambler and steroid user, who's the polar opposite of Alex's original image. The Christian message started to fade. The content became more about angles, abs, and maintaining an image. His social media became a shrine to aesthetics, perfectly edited, aggressively curated. The person fans connected with started feeling more like a character. And while Alex is still massively popular, a growing chunk of his audience feels disillusioned, not because he changed, but because he changed without admitting it. Then there's the guy who changed everything. Ziz. Long before influencer was even a word, Ziz was out there posing, flexing, and telling skinny kids that they could transform their lives. He was goofy, he was confident, and above all, he was authentic. Ziz never tried to be perfect, he just tried to be epic.
Everyone has a little bit of Ziz in them. Every out there, you're a fucking sick cunt if you want to be, bro. Stop being a sad cunt, alright? Go out, get bitches, be a sick cunt like Ziz, bro. That's what we do.
He danced in clubs like no one was watching. He flexed in the mirror like he owned the world. He made gym montages with trance music and tagged them with messages like, "We're all gonna make it, bruh." He didn't compete in bodybuilding shows or try to be Mr. Olympia. He competed against the guy he used to be, a shy, skinny kid who decided to change everything. Ziz didn't just lift bodies, he lifted spirits. He inspired a generation of young men to chase aesthetics, not for validation, but for confidence. His untimely death was a shockwave, but instead of fading, his legend grew. Even today, his old videos resurface on TikTok and Instagram like they're sacred scrolls. Ask any lifter under 30 who inspired them, and there's a good chance the answer is Ziz. His physique, his mindset, his energy are still the blueprint for what modern fitness looks like. He wasn't just a guy with abs. He was a movement.